You start to build so much confidence that you can play this in front of anybody at any time. David says, Kingsley has always been a phenomenal musician. He taught me how to improvise, and that understanding helped me to have confidence.
There's no one better I would have chosen. He's always been a phenomenal musician. He's always been able to teach me at my level how to improvise, and I think that understanding ultimately helped me to have confidence. For anyone that's on the fence, I believe Kingsley is the real deal.
Addison, Kingsley is such an amazing teacher. He goes at just the right pace and makes learning so much fun. Sterling says, I'm able to learn as fast as I want to. Before working with Kingsley, I wanted to quit. I was too nervous about having enough time. Thankfully, I did not. After one class I knew, Kingsley helped me to climb out of my shell and flourish in that new environment. He gave me confidence. He was incredibly willing to go above and beyond and spend one-on-one time with me as I pursued my love of jazz saxophone. After working with him, he launched into improvising all over St. Louis and playing with small groups and big bands just like these. How can you become comfortable in all the areas of the saxophone without having to be intimidated by the process? Here's my student Paris performing with Harry Styles, 2023 Grammy Award-winning band. Now, you might say he's playing trumpet though, and you're right. The same method though used with all my students got him to where he is playing what he hears with ease, all by ear, in front of crowds. I've sent over 800 students to honor bands in classical and jazz styles, like this and like this, like this. So many trophies I don't even have boxes to hold them all. Solo awards, best of day awards, playing in front of groups like this, and having that confidence and that path forward that got them the ability to do this year after year after year after year. For 20 years. I found the holy grail of music, and I'm going to tell you what that is in just a minute. And that holy grail of music enabled all the students like these and these and these to just be incredibly productive. Okay, so what about bands like this? Look at all those confident people standing up and playing. Why are they doing that? Because they have a path forward. They know exactly what they're supposed to do, and they all stand up there confidently and playing. Imagine having the confidence to play with any band and sit in and have fun like that. What do all of those people have in common? I shared with them exactly what I'm about to share with you today in this live. If you're a sax player striving to get better and you click off this live right now, you might be missing potentially the greatest opportunity that's ever been introduced to you in your entire life. Sterling says, limitless. I can play all day. And August said, I've never thought learning music could be this easy. If you stay to the end, I got a free song and some solos for you. Who is this for? You are in the right spot if you are striving to be a better sax player and you want to unlock your ability to become comfortable in all areas of saxophone. This is for saxophone players who want to learn how to play and improv and play by ear without having to learn scales. If you want to become comfortable reading new music, if you want to learn how to play all aspects of the sax with ease, and learn all about the range and articulation, how to get low notes, how to get altissimo notes out, if you're willing to have an open mind and new ideas with a cutting-edge strategies to improve your saxophone playing, it is for saxophone players of all levels. And it's also for educators who want to get better at teaching the saxophone. This is not for saxophone players who are closed-minded and not willing to try new concepts. They're not willing to put in the time to transform their playing. You don't want to make the world a better with the gift that you have and something that you love to do. My big promise to you is that when you finish your time with me, this is what's going to happen to you. You're going to be so comfortable with all the new tools you have that you'll be able to play anything put in front of you with ease. And you're going to be able to jump in and play confidently and play in front of others, including your family and any band you want to get in. Just like this guy right here. This guy and this guy and this guy. What we'll cover in the next few minutes are 3 secrets, my 3 powerful tools to help you get success in what you want. Secret number 1, how to apply a powerful tool, making it so simple to stay motivated and spend less time in a practice room, and it's going to help saxophone players of all levels. It's called grouping. It's just so easy. Secret number 2 is how to develop a strategy that will allow you to play in every situation on 100% of the time and boost your confidence. And 3, how to apply one simple technique that's going to show you how to get results quickly all the time, even if you do not have hardly any time to practice.
You make the concept so easy to understand. I love that we can go at our own pace. We learn so much in just a short amount of time. I'm learning so much. I'm definitely a fan with Kingsley's course.
Why is this different? If you've failed at improv before, or practice and you struggle and you don't have a lot of confidence and you're confused, it is not your fault. If you've been concerned in the past that you can't succeed with improv or reading or playing by ear, put those fears to rest because you can do it. You just need the right person to explain it to you. People may have told you that you need a big fancy degree from a big music school or you have to be born with a musical gift or skills already. I'm here to tell you that that is wrong. They had their reasons for telling you that, but it's just not true. So that's what I'm here for. I know you have a dream to become an amazing saxophone player, and I want to show you how to make that dream happen during this live. My goal for this live for you is I want to help the people who want to learn how to improvise or read better, help the people who would like to get better, help the players new to saxophone and that they can just get started in minutes. I want to help the people that may know a little bit, but they just want to get better. I want to help absolve all your fears if that you might be wasting time practicing, or you're practicing the wrong stuff. I want to help other people who would like to teach and teach this to other saxophone players. Show you that every musician can benefit from grouping concepts and improvising, no matter what style of interest you have. For those that stay all the way to the end, remember there's a gift waiting for you. Okay, listen, pay close attention. If you're a sax player and serious about playing with ease and getting confident to play in front of others, then this live will change your life. My name is Kingsley, and I built Sharps and Flats with Kingsley years ago. That is a membership level program with hundreds of videos, but that's not what I'm going to show you today. I have 2 music degrees. I've got a bachelor's with a principal sax in music education and a master's in music education. That led me to being the ILMEA jazz representative for all of District 4 in Illinois and be nominated for Educator of the Year for the entire capital. That's me, playing note-for-note transcription of Dexter Gordon's Watermelon Man. Now remember that. I'm going to talk about that here again in a couple minutes. This is the best of both worlds, and I do play saxophone in that band. This was our first album, came out in 2020. Our second and third albums are going to be out in 2023. I solo in Latin, swing, gospel, funk, and I get to perform with my New Orleans brass band for the last 22 years. And there they are, right there. That's me, and that's me, but that guy right there, let's talk about Adam Larson. That guy has recorded 7 albums. He's an endorsed artist for P. Marriott Saxophones. He's played at the Green Mill, the Jazz Standard, Birdland, all kinds of places. He's on faculty at the UMKC Conservatory, and he still tours the world with his great stuff with saxophone. And back here, that guy, when he was 14, he jumped in with our band, and he was able to play. Why? Because he knew the path forward. And you know why he knew the path? Why did he have the tools to be able to jump up there and have confidence? He wasn't as good as us. We were short a saxophone player, and he jumped in with us. How did he have the confidence to jump in and play with guys that were far older than him? It's because he knew the path forward. When he was just 11 or 12 years old, he was at a band camp where I was invited to be a clinician for, and every single day after class, he would come in and ask me questions. How do I do this? How do I do that? And he was so driven, focused time on learning small concepts and little things. He had a path forward that gave him so much confidence. He would step in front of big crowds and play. And that is what ended up making him do this. I used to be scared to death to play in front of crowds. Crowds like that. So, I just was scared. I would sweat because everyone would hear my mistakes and how I'm not that good until I discovered the tools that made me confident. No, and it unlocked the ability for me to be comfortable in all areas of the sax. And I became confident and happy to play in front of others and in front of all my family and friends. You know what, though? This used to scare me to death. But like having all the answers to a test, you can just walk in and confidently take the test because you already have the answers. But if you don't have the answers, you don't know the path forward, you're left by yourself just trying to practice and be by yourself and fail. And we just feel like a failure so much of the time because we're looking for this and that and trying different YouTube examples. And we ask, we try all kinds of things. But what if you discovered tools that would help you and give you the blueprint for moving forward that would accelerate how comfortable you feel in all the areas of the saxophone? Look at this. That's just a jumbled mess of numbers, but now it makes sense. Look at these letters. That's just confusion until you break it apart and you group them into groups. So I hate going to the grocery store and I just can't stand it. But that's why I created a list that looks like this. So I could just go to 4 different areas and have confidence that I could get in and out in 10 or 15 minutes. I'm nothing special. I was just an average sax player, but this is how I discovered the path forward. Guys like Jim Boydus, Richard Rath, and Dr. David Snyder. These people poured into me when I was in college, and the list goes on and on. The thing is, they were all pointing to the exact same thing that I discovered. All those hundreds of students that I showed you before that have become incredibly confident performers and playing with ease. They're playing on stage, they're playing in honor bands and on TV. I took all the lessons I had learned and the myriad teachers' advice and put it into one simple, powerful tool that helps sax players at all levels improve their ability and get comfortable in all the areas of the sax, like all these guys. In fact, the results all these players got were so awesome that People started telling me that this is the best thing since sliced bread. Eventually, more and more people began asking me how to privately show them how to play and get all these results. But there was a problem. There was not nearly enough time in the day where I could possibly teach everyone that wanted to learn. So I created a training blueprint for saxophone players at all levels. And in a moment, I'm going to show you 3 mind-blowing concepts for free that will get you results immediately. My first step was to imagine what I wanted. Imagine what your life would be like if you could feel comfortable improvising in any musical situation, or you discover how to read any kind of music you see. You become respected as a player to your family and friends. You can just jump in and play with any band. You can play songs you know and you sound exciting. You realize you have more time because you're more motivated. You can play anything on your sax that's in your mind. People start asking you to play for them, and you're the most confident musician in the band. Would these things make a difference in your life or in your career or your family? It did mine. Remember when I said that I imagined creating a program to help tons of sax players get the results that people were asking me for? I imagined exactly just that, and it happened. I started with Sharps and Flats with Kingsley, hundreds of lessons on demand, but then I had so many sax players asking for lessons and wanting specific help. So I went to work for months and created what you're seeing now. An incredible exclusive program for saxophone players only who are striving to become better. Remember this and how it turned into that? To help you organize all of your playing and do it in less time. I know you're anxious for me to get to the step-by-step, but I need you to take these techniques seriously. So I'm going to quickly show you a few examples of people that have used these methods and what they have achieved. As Kingsley's inspiring, he explains things really well, making it memorable and easy to implement his teaching. I never thought learning music could be so easy. I'm so grateful. He goes at just the right pace. It's so much fun. It's limitless. I'm able to learn as fast as I want to. As I loved having Kingsley as my teacher, he always knew exactly how to get us engaged, and I'm so fortunate. Erica says, most talented musician and teacher I have ever met. Fun and engaging, he brings out the best in every student. I began being recognized as an expert band director and an expert in improvisation, but to be upfront, I really never felt like a great improviser. I really didn't. I just found out that I was fantastic at building confidence and teaching the tools needed to improv and to read music in a super fun way. Are you ready to jump into it? This is not for lazy people. It's for those who want to become awesome. Secret number 1, how to apply a powerful tool, making it so simple to stay motivated and spend less time in a practice room that will help saxophone players of all levels improve their ability. It's called grouping. It's so easy. Imagine seeing dots like this. You just got to connect the dots. All right. Do you remember this? How can we organize everything you do into groups that helps you get successful quicker and build your confidence? This is the secret that changed my life. This is what I meant by that. Most people think that the only way you can get better at playing is to learn lots of scales, hours of long tones, and all kinds of other things. Does that sound familiar? Were you ever told that before? Well, they were wrong. They had good intentions, but the problem with thinking that scales first, we get overwhelmed. By just using a very simple grouping method, you can learn to read or improvise over anything if you just pick one concept to work on at a time in small chunks. I like to call this method grouping. Okay, take these 3 notes, just B, A, and G, and start to have fun with that. And play it over and over. Now add one little change to the end of it that makes it, gives a little bit of flavor. We just went B, A, G, A, G. Now add a different change. B, A, G, A, B. And as you do this, just take those small group of notes and repeat that over and over. You start to build so much confidence that you can play this in front of anybody at any time. This just takes a little bit of time. It's like less than 5 minutes. And you walk away from a 5-minute session with so much like this tool that you can just go play at any time that you want and just stick it in the middle of a song and you'll never forget it. You may have been told that you got to practice like 1,000,000 scales and do long tones forever and all kinds of things to learn, but just take one little group of notes and have an intense focus with it. And when you walk away from that 2, 3, 4, 5 minute session, you've got something you can just play for the rest of your life. You see, it's super simple to start improvising or reading music. We overcomplicate things. It's just like grouping. Look at these numbers. You remember that? And how it turned into that? So much easier to see. Does this look intimidating to you? I mean, look at all those notes and rhythms and so many things to think about. Let's narrow it down. Let's just look at those two measures. What if we broke it down like this and we just played one note at a time? Now we make it even more simple. We play the entire rhythm on just one note, just a C. Now, if you don't know how to count that, then you learn how to count it. You don't know how to do that, then we'll do this. Everybody say, get some good chickadee, get some good hot sauce. I'm serious. Say it with me. Go along. Get some good chickadee, get some good hot sauce. Now you know the rhythm. What if we put the rhythm and the notes together? Okay, now you know the notes, you know the rhythm, and now you are confident to play those first two measures. You built it little by little, and now you have a path forward. You would feel confident about playing those measures in front of a crowd, in front of your family, or at a concert. And then you just do the same thing for the rest of the song. And now you've got an 8-measure song, which, by the way, this stuff makes it memorized, because when you build it this way, you do it so inside you, and the music becomes so inside you that you have a confident path forward. Mark says this is one really great tool. He's always been able to teach me at my level. Things that make grouping work better are you have fun working on one thing at a time. You feel accomplished after only 5 minutes, and you discover not only how to play, but how to understand what you're playing. And now you can play it with tons of confidence. We'll cover more here in a second, but are you getting excited? That same type of process can be used to learn how to improvise and get really confident about playing by ear. Secret number 2 is how to develop a strategy that will allow you to play in every situation 100% of the time and boost your confidence and get over the fear, because we don't want fear. How do we get rid of that? We get rid of that by your new best friend called Super 6 Step. What if you had a routine process that you could apply to any piece of music you're working on that will make you successful? You'd have so much fun and confidence about it that you would start playing for others. A process like this that guarantees your success and the path forward to knowing how to play the music. I used to be really scared to play solos in front of others, and I felt so nervous about making up music and playing by ear. But you don't have to be outgoing or be a good performer or an improviser to do that. Many of the best musicians that ever lived were shy people. John Coltrane, Prince, and even Elvis. Can you imagine that? These guys were very nervous, and if you look at interviews of them, you see how shy they are. But they so knew their music that they were confident to play in front of others. And you will too when you have this path forward. The truth is that you need to build confidence by knowing the path. Harold says, thank you, helps me speed up between my notes. Working out a path ahead of time makes learning the tunes and practicing anything much easier. All successful improvisers have worked out a path before they practice, and over time you can embellish that path once you feel comfortable. This is the power of your best friend, Super 6 Step. And don't forget, I'm going to give you that free sheet music and video demonstration at the end of this. Are you ready for secret number 3? How to apply a simple technique that will show you how to get results quickly, even if you do not have enough time or much time to practice. And now meet your next best friend, Fun Chunk. How many of you would like to know a little 5-minute method I'm about to show you that will drastically improve your ability to improvise on your instrument, regardless of your previous experience? Let me tell you a story. Do you remember when I told you about me transcribing Dexter Gordon's solo on Watermelon Man? There was a lick inside that solo that made me just turn me on, and I wanted to figure it out. I had never transcribed a solo before, but I listened to it over and over, and this is it. So here's the lick. I heard that in the middle of Dexter Gordon's solo, and I thought, oh man, I want to learn that. So I took that little section of that and I replayed it over and over until I had it. And I would struggle with it, but then I got it. I was so laser focused on those few notes, that small group of notes. And once I had those notes under my fingers, I could play it the way I was hearing it. I could play it by ear. I could play it the way Dexter Gordon did. And now I am so confident I can break that thing out whenever I want. But what if you add little changes to it like we talked about earlier? I just went one note above. Having that tool in my tool belt gave me the confidence, and it will give you the confidence too when you have all these things that you can just magically break out. But it's not magic, it's playing by ear. And playing by ear means that you've taken the time, small little chunks of time, and you have so much confidence that you can play it. And that's the power of your next best friend, Fun Chunk. What we've covered so far was secret number 1, how to apply a powerful tool, making it simple to stay motivated and spend less time. How to develop a super step strategy that makes you confident and boosts your confidence when you're playing. And finally, what you just saw with Fun Chunk, to get results quickly with less time in the practice room. Now you understand that you will have the confidence and time and ability to become comfortable in all the areas of the saxophone. Also, you've discovered that massive value in getting results, meaning your life will improve dramatically as you begin playing everything you've dreamed of with confidence for others and being respected as a fantastic sax player. I've also shown you how grouping, super 6-step method, and the Fun Chunk means you can begin improving immediately. Let me ask you a question. Are you enjoying this live so far? Was our time together thus far enjoyable for you? Have you found it valuable? Do you feel like you're getting comfortable and finding a way forward to get comfortable on your saxophone now that you've watched this? Have you come up with some ideas you already feel excited about implementing in your own sax playing? Is it fair to say that using these techniques would give you a significant advantage over other people that would like to become great sax players? Are you happy you came into this live today? I have absolute confidence that you could take everything we covered here today and on your own, go out and put it into action and get results that you previously thought weren't possible. I'm certain that the information we just covered today, left on your own with your own resources, your own time, your own effort, you could make a go at this and you might be able to get somewhere. And if that were your only option, it would be worth doing, I guess. But what if there was another option, an option that allowed me to serve you at the highest level, a chance to go more in depth together than we can in one short live session, only connecting together just once? What if I played an active role in your life, in your sax playing, and took responsibility in your success and had an obligation to your outcome? How would that make things different? If I had such an option for you, would you like to hear more about it and what it could do for you and for you as a sax player? That's why it's with great pleasure that I introduce to you a new method to help you become the best player ever, a new program, the Saxophone Accelerator Blueprint for all levels. The concepts and methods I've shown you today only scratch the surface, not even a dent. The Saxophone Accelerator Blueprint has expert coaching, tons of feedback, community of other sax players just like you striving to get better. This course is not just for students, but for educators too. It's for anyone who wants to know more about improvising, anyone who wants to get better at reading, beginning students, intermediate, advanced, rock musicians, classical, pop, jazz, kids, adults, creative people, music business owners, and music educators, all types of saxophone players. And for a limited time, I'm going to be doing a limited number of free 45-minute sax chats to see if we are a good fit for each other. During our chat, we'll find out a few things. What are your current roadblocks? Are we a good fit to solve the problems for you? Are you a good fit for us? Are you positive go-getter? Because I don't work with negative people. We'll develop a strategy to help you overcome these obstacles and potentially make you a much better sax player. Then and only then would we show you what the Saxophone Accelerator Blueprint looks like and see if you want to be a part of it. Now you have two options at this point. You could go at it alone and hopefully do it right, reinvent the solution to every roadblock as it comes and figure out every hiccup. Or option two, you can have me by your side and make sure you're doing it right. Blast through those roadblocks like a rocket and accelerate your success faster than you ever could on your own. Let me help you, someone who has already gone through the path. Now, if you're smart and you go with option number two and decide to work with me, here's what you should expect in terms of quickly obtaining results. Number one, we're going to diagnose your saxophone playing with one-on-one planning session. We're going to train you to master grouping techniques. We're going to train you to master all the fundamentals of the sax. Things like articulation, low register, high register, your breath support, long tones, vibrato, timbre, how the tone of your saxophone, overtone series, your mouthpiece concerns, how to get your reeds ready to go, and performance anxiety. I'm really great at helping with that because I care. I want to see you succeed, and I am willing to give everything I am to you to help you do that. Information alone won't save you. If all this course did was allow you to the ability to play in any musical situation, would it be worth it? If this course, all it did was show you the exact steps and more that hundreds of musicians have taken to create better lives, get more gigs, and increase their incomes, would it be worth it? If all it did was allow you to become a highly respected musician, would that be worth it? If all it did was boost your self-esteem and confidence, would that be worth it? So if this sounds like you and you want to skyrocket your playing and be able to play at your maximum potential with more confidence in less time, then let's talk. My schedule can only handle 15 calls within the next 5 days, so you must apply now. We'll talk for roughly 45 minutes and I can map out an exact plan for you to follow so that you can start to improve immediately. This conversation will probably be the most valuable 45 minutes you spend working on your sax playing this entire year. The Saxophone Accelerator Blueprint for all levels is all about helping you become an amazing player and unlock your ability to become comfortable in all the areas of the saxophone so that it becomes an extension of your body. I walk you from the beginning to advanced stages of technique, improvisation, reading, without the fear of you wasting time practicing the wrong material, all while boosting your confidence. Here is your free 12-bar blues, simple melody with 6 solos. For those of you that stuck around, I am so glad you did. Here's how to get that. Go to the link that you see below. I've tried my very best to put together a package for you that will over-deliver. Your results will come faster than you think. This system is what transformed myself and others, like all these guys. You know, there's two types of people in this world. There's those who sit there and do nothing and those who get up and go for it and become awesome. I spent over $45,000 seeking out all this information that I've put into one package for you. And the crazy thing is, once you leave college, you can't revisit that material ever unless you pay and go at it again. This is Grace Lee, and she is 94 years old, graduating high school. Her grandkids said, "Grandma, why? You're 90 years old. Why do you want to do this?" And she said, "Well, I can be 94 years old and I can be a high school graduate, or I'll be 94 and not be a high school graduate. Either way, I'm going to be 94. And for you, everyone, either way, 1 year from now, you're going to be a year older and you will have benefited more. You will have increased your saxophone playing and become so confident, or you won't. You can see why this program is worth far more than your coffee each day, because your life gets better. You still have questions? You can email me here at kingsley@sharpsandflatskingsley.com. So go to the link below and schedule your call today so that we can make progress and start attaining all your dreams on saxophone. I only have room for 15 calls in the next 5 days. Once those calls are booked, that's it. I'm done. The door's closed and I am going to move on with my program. I look forward to talking to you soon.